Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, first, we're going to give our thoughts on the mid-season finale being an extended 88-minute episode. And spoiler warning, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead Season 8, which is up to Season 8, Episode 3. So definitely want to give my thoughts on this one. I want to thank Andy G for sending this one through to me. And I'll put the link for you guys in the description to comicbook.com for The Walking Dead Season 8's mid-season finale. Sounds like it's going to be a pretty big one this year. There's some controversy over some, possible spoilers. We'll have to see if maybe they're right, maybe they're not right, how this works out, this mid-season finale. But it could be a big one. It could be a big one, and that's all I'll really say. But all the finales, premieres, they're all pretty big for Walking Dead, but this one could be even bigger. So let's see how this goes. And it's snowing. So I got my hat on because it's you get the first chills when it starts to snow. You see the snow and you're like, oh no. So that kind of sucks. So that's why I'm wearing my my hat. I don't usually do that. I used to have like a skull cap I used to wear for my videos, but not anymore. So 88-minute episode. So that's with commercials, of course. So the usual kind of deal. That really makes it about a 60 to 66 minute episode. It's not going to be 88 minutes, with commercials in addition. This is like a 66 minutes or 88 minutes, basically 90 minutes, counting your commercials in there too. So like an hour long, mid-season finale for The Walking Dead, which is great. I love to get these. The more the better. It's always awesome. That's going to be December 10th. 2017. So The Walking Dead finishing off in December because it had not a crazy late start, but a little bit of a later start in October, as it often does. So like first week or two into December. So that's fun. So excited for that one, and can't wait to see what they have for us for the mid-season finale and what this includes. It should be really exciting though, as the season has already been super exciting, so far right off the bat, so to speak. Sorry guys, didn't get a video done for you guys yesterday. I had some appointments and stuff I had to do, so didn't get around to it. Just the appointment time took up time that I usually do to film before work. Jay Moore says, Q&A, is Eric's death a semi-callback to Season 1 with Jim being put on the tree, or leaning down against the tree? And that was kind of cool. So a nice catch from Jay Morris. I hadn't even really thought about that. I hadn't really thought about, the similarities between Eric and his death that we've just seen, sort of, and it was a weird death too, like the way they filmed it. I have watched Talking Dead now, so I'm not sure if they intended to have him be a zombie and then see but not be. I'm not sure what happened there, but we didn't really get to see, like a straight on, zombified Eric or anything like that. We kind of see Aaron by himself, and I don't know, the way that Eric's death was kind of shown in the TV series, it also got outshadowed by the Morales death for hardcore fans, but at the same time too, it was it was just kind of weird the way it played out, and it wasn't as maybe obvious or intuitive as usual, where you just kind of see a character like Sasha, for example, and then you see them turn, and then you see someone find them, and then go and then put them down, or something like that. That's kind of the usual deal. This one wasn't exactly the same, but that's kind of a nice comparison that I didn't really think about, which is the similarity between, Jim from Season 1 and Eric with the being, leaned against the tree as they're kind of, dying or spending their last few minutes. And there's a lot of things. It's probably intentional, to be honest with you, even though, a lot of us didn't think of the similarities, but you have a lot of things here that are similar to the first season, as well as in the first episode, the premiere. You have the the cars, and you have the kind of like the gas station. You have some zombies that might remind you of some for the first season. So there's quite a few things they did, probably because of the 100th episode, on purpose to kind of bring us back. Morales come back for the first season, so stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see, and that's cool because I don't really think about that too much, because we've just seen, with Walking Dead, I did a video in the late spring there, like early summer. If you haven't seen it, it's in the channel, where we recount all of the character deaths all throughout The Walking Dead. There might be like a one or two missing here or there, but I try my best to include all of them. In 40 minutes we go through every single one, every single character death from the entire series, and it's there's so many, sometimes it's hard to see, even if two deaths are pretty similar. A few years later, there's just so many that you just kind of forget, you kind of forget about a character like Jim, who was the mechanic from Season 1, if you guys don't know who we're talking about. He's the one who was digging the graves and doesn't know why he's digging the graves, and after a bunch of people died, he's like, oh yeah, that's why. So if you guys remember that. So that's old school for sure. And kind of cool because I didn't really think about that. MD Matteo says, hey Trev, I feel like The Walking Dead is doing so much action that they aren't explaining anything. I love action, but I do feel like they might need to slow it down a bit, kind of. And so that's for Matt. So for Matt, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I mean, they've got to slow down pretty soon. Like Gimbal said, 4 episodes. So, this Sunday will probably be the last one that's like really, action heavy and crazy. And then after that, it'll probably get back to kind of the normal run-of-the-mill kind of Walking Dead. Mostly drama with some payoffs and a few small action scenes here and there, like probably in the mid-season finale or leading up to it. So I expect to see that kind of thing, that kind of change. They can't keep going like this forever, and you wouldn't really want the series to be like this forever because that's not what The Walking Dead is. But for right now, for All Out War, kicking this season off in a great fashion is what a lot of us really want to see, and it's cool, man, because like already after this sequence right here and episode 4, I pretty much feel like they did the comic book storyline justice. Like after these episodes, the season 7 finale, and then these 3 or 4. It kind of feels like, okay, at least we got to see in the TV series a war. Like, it does feel like a war. It's not just one episode and then it's over. That's more like a battle. It really does feel like a war. You've got back and forth fighting. You've got season 7 where kind of the saviors go, and then you think they're going to get them, and then the junkyard group stabs them in the back, and then you have some deaths there. Sasha and... Going into this season, we see the survivors kind of retaliate and go back after them and go after all their locations. So it's been very exciting so far, and I personally feel like it's about as close to a war as we're probably ever going to see in The Walking Dead, and I'm already pretty much satisfied with their adaptation of it with the TV series version. Now it's all gravy, and of course it's not done yet, so by the time this is all done, I would not be surprised if they surpassed the comic book storyline All Out War Parts 1 and 2 with the TV series version, because they're just doing so much with it. It's pretty awesome to see. Like the 50 cal and all this different stuff, and the action plays better on video than it does, I think, on page if you do it right. It's easier because you can have the music, you can have all the stuff, you can have the explosions and all this other stuff. So it's pretty sweet to see for sure. So I'm enjoying the hell of it, but you're right, Matt, they got to slow down, and they will. They have to. They can't do a whole season like this with the budget and everything they have. It's not doable, and the type of show it is that's not the type of show. It's just they're doing this now because it's all out war. Trollerslose says, hey Trev, do you think Morgan is going crazy again? And we kind of got a little bit of that after the fight between him and Jesus, when he puts the spear or the staff that he's kind of sharpened off a little bit now because he's in clear mode, right? He's got from peace mode to beast mode, and he puts it up to him, and then he kind of snaps out of it. He's like, what? It's just like he's coming back to it. So that was pretty cool. So I think that maybe the confusion of what they want to do is kind of driving him nuts, because in one hand you have Rick who's doing a speech and telling everybody that we're gonna end them all, right? So we're gonna kill them all, right? You can't say kill them all because that's the governor's. The governor's got that tagline, copyrighted, right? So he can't use that. But they're gonna end them, right? They're gonna kill them all. And now Morgan's going through to do that. And originally he didn't want to, but now he's going to. And it's like, Jesus and some of the others don't want to, and it's like he doesn't want to see this, I think. I think what he knows is going to happen is that if they give the Saviors a chance, this could go really bad, which it probably is going to this season. They're probably going to escape or find some way when Negan attacks or something to switch sides or something, as prisoners. So it's pretty tricky. And Morgan right now, I don't think he's going crazy. I just think that he's like, he had one understanding, and now Jesus is totally doing all this stuff, and now they're fighting and everything, and it's just like, so I personally don't think Morgan is crazy right now. I think he's just very confused by all this, and the others are too. Like, they're not all on one page. Rick wants to clear everybody, but then, not always. Darryll wants to clear everyone. Morgan wants to clear everyone. Tara does, it depends. Jesus doesn't, and Maggie maybe somewhere in the middle. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Next one is from Darryll Campbell-brown, who says, this is the first video. He doesn't start with saying, all right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be blank. So he's right. And that was for the reaction video when they killed off Morales. So that's true. For that death, I broke routine. I broke the formula. I don't do it that often. Sometimes we do it once in a while, and that definitely made sense. Half of it's a joke, really, but it was a big deal for us, fans, I think. So, is Ezekiel okay? Says Khaliyd Fuller. So, of course, Ezekiel, he or she means at the end of the episode. when the 50 cal's shooting down and you have all the kingdomers that go down and then they kind of fall on top of him. Our interpretation of it, or my interpretation is, yeah, he's probably fine, but the guys in front of him have been killed, and he's probably just going to play dead underneath them. That's what I'm thinking, at least for a little bit. Granted, we don't know if they were shot in the head, so if they start turning into to zombies, he's going to have to put them down and try to get the hell out of there without the 50 cal seeing him. But we did see in the promo or sneak peek for next week that it looks like they're going to assume the Saviors are going to think that everybody there is dead. Ezekiel will be under the others. And then maybe when he gets his opportunity, when he thinks it's okay, he'll somehow maybe either shoot them both or put them down and then run, like get out of the way of the 50 cal's line of sight, right? So that he can't be mowed down as well too, like the others were. So that's our interpretation of it right now, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think that's Ezekiel's death scene, if that's what you're asking. I don't think that's what we saw there in episode 3. Andrew's visual says, please answer this. Could there ever be a relationship with Maggie and Jesus as he was there for her after Glenn and has been there since? And I just put this one in there, not to make fun of Andrews, but it's just kind of funny. Jesus is gay. He doesn't like girls. He likes boys. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. And somebody told him in the comments, but I just wanted to kind of put it in there because I thought it was really funny. Jesus likes he likes boys. Turn Him Sideways says, hey, Trav, I was wondering, why do people even do spoilers? So what do you think about spoilers? I mean, here's the thing to it. Of course, there's a part to it. There's a part of all of us that we want to know what happens next without having to wait. We want to know the whole story right away, this moment, right? We don't want to wait for any of the details or anything, we don't want to have to wait until the release date to see who it is that's going to be killed or see who it is what's going to happen next. So, of course, there's part of all of us that want to know right away the info, and that's why, spoilers spread so rapidly. If everybody had more self-control, then they would wait for the release date and then watch it, release date. But people don't, People buy Big Macs. People buy, candy, and they eat candy and they eat Big Macs, and people don't have that much self-control. They do what, it'd be cool. Like, that's what this really comes down to. If you could wait for it, you're going to get the best. Emotionally, you're probably going to get the best payoff if you wait until the premiere and actually see it live and don't know what's going to happen and then see it. You're going to get the most enjoyment probably out of it. But that's if you can control yourself to the point where you're going to delay gratification and wait until you see it. To read it is not as epic as to see it the first time, of course. But it's just one of those things. Like, people want to be in the know. People want to, know what's going to happen right away, and they don't want to have to wait until they find out who Negan's going to kill in the season 7 premiere, or who's going to die here or wherever. So, that's why it is. It's what it is, and it's not just with Walking Dead too. There's other things like in Game of Thrones. There's been events that have been spoiled, and like Jon Snow coming back to life and things like that. So it happens in all kinds of different series, and it's. I think it's okay. I don't think it's going to kill the show. It's probably not great for the show if you've got a lot of these things being leaked. But really, who can we blame for that? I mean, if they can keep everything tightened up, if AMC can keep everything together, then you don't really have to worry about this. But if stuff starts getting out, then yeah, it's going to spread. People love the show. They want to know what happens as soon as they can. So that's why, that's why it is what it is. I try to do my part, which is not to, spread everything right away. And if I do spoiler videos, if it's something big and it's really early or something like that, and I think it's applicable, then I'll do one and I'll just tell you guys spoilers. And if you don't want to watch this, watch another video. Then if you're watching this, it is spoilers. So is what it is. If some things become widespread, then we do it more than if they're kind of more locked up or low key. Once it gets big, though, it's like, you might as well. Who cares? Whatever. Everybody knows about it at that point. We'll do one more. G-Town Man says, Q&A Trev. So since Morales is in The Walking Dead, do you think that it makes even more of a chance or more sense in Fear the Walking Dead being the Whisperers or Abraham? So because they brought Morales into The Walking Dead, and it's kind of something that people could argue is kind of contrived or unnatural based on the location and what are the odds, that kind of thing, right? What are the chances, that kind of. So I hear that, right? So does it kind of make it more of a chance that they would do some of this? I think so, but as I've said in my videos for the last couple of years for Fear, it would help Fear out a lot if they had some kind of more concrete crossover than just it's in the same universe and you have zombies. You know, if they had a character from The Walking Dead, or if the Fear characters went to The Walking Dead, then that would make, as the Whispers or something, that would make a lot of sense. So maybe that was the plan from the beginning. You see the stuff with Nicholas. You see him, you know, wearing the wet Whisper guts and stuff like that, the zombie guts. You see them traveling around a lot. Certainly, it looks like we could be seeing the origin of the Whispers. It might not have been originally planned, but maybe when they thought about it, they thought, wow, yeah, that would actually really help Fear the Walking Dead's ratings if we did a crossover like that. So I do think that it is true that since they did bring in Morales, they're kind of redefining, you know, they're redefining, so to speak, what they're doing here. And I think that you kind of do need to do that after 8 years. You know, what you want to do in the beginning may not be the same thing you want to do 8 years later. And it may be good for Fear if you brought Abraham in for a couple seasons or something, and do like an origin thing before he met maybe Rosita and Eugene or something like that, you know. Some kind of story like that. I don't know what you would do, or even just for a little bit, like for one season or half a season or whatever. If you just brought him in for a bit, that'd be cool. But the biggest one, I think, would be if you went the other way and you saw the Fear group, or at least a couple of them, maybe not Alicia or something like that. You just have one of them, like Madison or Nicholas or something, and you had them cross the other way, go into The Walking Dead. It'd be a lot of work because then they'd have to do both shows for a couple years probably. But, you know, it would be really cool to see. So I think it does add to that kind of possibility. And, of course, they've confirmed it already, so that's what we're seeing. And I think overall, it'd just be good for Fear, and that's what I want, because I think Fear is such a great show. If you look at Season 3, they did so amazing in Season 3. You know, you can argue it's better than some seasons of The Walking Dead, I think. Fear was really that good in Season 3, so it's going to be cool for them to bring some characters across the series to really help connect them a little better for fans that are, like, disconnected from it, because they're like, okay, I know Walking Dead, this is Fear the Walking Dead, it's got zombies, but what else is the same? I'm really not into this. You know, I already got 16 episodes of the regular, some of them are extended, and I don't really need to get behind a whole new group and learn the motivations and everything. I've already got this one. So that's where, you know, a crossover character like Abraham could really add to it, because you can never see him again in the original series unless it's a hallucination, dream, or flashback or something, which doesn't make sense at all. But if you went the other way and had him in Fear, a prequel, it could work, or Whisper's sequel for Fear, so to speak, into The Walking Dead. That'll be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think about all these different questions, how you're feeling about the mid-season finale. Should be a real good one this year. As always, stay warm, guys. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. If you're new and you want to subscribe, you can do so at the bottom left. You can leave me a question. Leave one in the comments below so I can grab them for maybe tomorrow. We can do another Q&A, guys. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon. Well, I hope you're wearing your subscribing pants.
What?
Your subscribing pants. Because you're going to subscribe to this channel wearing those pants.